Hi and welcome to the second episode of Country Bumpkin Creates. My name is Lucy and you can find me on Ravelry as CountryBumps, and you can also find me on Instagram as country_bumps. Thank you for viewing my podcast today. Thank you for anybody who's returning after watching the first episode. I was quite nervous in that first episode, so thank you for sitting all the way through it. Thank you to those who subscribed. And thank you also to those who left lovely little messages on both the YouTube channel and on Instagram. Hopefully this time I will be able to put links and to all the things that I talk about in the down bar below, because I didn't do that last time and that's very bad podcasting. So let's start today with what I'm wearing. This is my Colour Affection shawl. This is one of the first shawls that I ever knit, and it's by Wacky. The yarns I bought as a kit from Devon Sun Yarns. Sorry, I've got hair issues today. From Devon Sun Yarns. So it starts off with this like crescent shape in your first colour, and then you add in your second colour, and this was like a rainbow variegated colour. It was beautiful. And you do some short rows, and then finally you start working with the third colour, and again it's short rows, but it's all in garter, so it's squishy. Because I was a newbie, the only thing I didn't know was this edge is quite tight, so when it came to blocking it, I couldn't stretch it as much as I could have done. So, but when I'm reading other people's Ravelry notes after, I should have done a yarn over and then dropped that yarn over on the way back, and that would have made it more stretchy. And then you finalise the shawl by knitting this panel, garter panel, all the way along. So you do lots and lots and lots of long short rows. That didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Your short rows get longer, but it's just that annoying, not stretchy, but it's so squishy, and it's one of my favourite shawls to wear, especially like today when I've got a white t-shirt on, but I'm not going to put it back on because it's quite warm today. Sorry, I really can't work out where to look at with the camera. I've got to look at the dot over there. It's all new. It's all new. I'll get there one day. Okay, so that was what I'm wearing for today. I'm not going to put it back on because I'm roasting. So we'll move swiftly on to finished objects. Well, I didn't get as many done as I was hoping to, but I did finish 2 pairs of socks. So the first ones I finished were the watermelon socks from Hand Dyed by Kate. So I did these as afterthought everything. So I did knit them. I started with a cuff, knit a long tube with the watermelon yarn, and then on the end of that tube, on this, which would have been the second sock, I did a toe. I then worked out where the midpoint was, although I didn't work out where the midpoint was very well. So they are off slightly. One is slightly longer than the other, but who cares? And then so I picked up the stitches all the way around. I did explain this in last week's, but maybe. And then I knit cuff on the second one and toe on the other one, and then I put in afterthought heels. Thank you for people who left messages or DM'd me about afterthought heels. What I did in the end was I got another pair of socks that I'd done. Covered in cat hair, that I'd done a short row heel on, worked out where it was that I needed to cut, and then I used this green is from West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's in the sour apple colourway because I didn't have because I do 72 stitches because I've got little fat witchy feet. So I didn't think I'd have enough of this contrast to do both heels. so I just used some West Yorkshire spinners in a green one. And my other knitted finished object is my Central Park socks that I was knitting. These are from the New York sock collection by Mina Phillip, who is the knitting expat, and the final sock of the collection has just been released about 5 minutes ago, so should be looking forward to casting that on soon. So these have got a beautiful lace detail, and the yarn is again Devon Sun yarns, and it was the Caribbean Sea colourway, which was a May last year Yarn Club yarn. So I've got some of that. I've got plenty of that left, so I'll do some minis, and then I'll use that as I can then use that as a contrast for another project. Final finished object is this one. I'm helping out at a yarn market in Liskeard in Cornwall in October. I want to say the 4th. I should have probably looked at that before we started, but I'll link it below anyway. It's called 3 Bags Full, and it's on a Friday. It's on the first Friday in October, and it's at the public hall in Liskeard. And they do various yarn bombing and things around the town of Liskeard, and then they have the wall market on the Friday evening, and then for the 2 weeks following that, we organise different workshops that are happening, and I'm teaching two FIMO based ones, doing buttons and shawl pins. Hopefully I'll show you some examples on the next podcast, because I've forgotten to bring them. Apologies if you can hear that. That's the husband pushing his motorbike out of the driveway so he doesn't make too much noise starting up, because I've banished him from the house while I'm recording. So I do apologise. So anyway, back to 3 Bags Full. So yeah, there's various workshops happening. I'll talk about that in a bit later, because I've actually signed up to do some workshops, but in the town, in the public hall. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thoughts then. Sorry, I can't speak today. We obviously decorate it, and there's like a mezzanine balcony, and in the past years we've hung sweaters up there, we've hung blankets, and this year I said I would crochet some large mandalas. So this is the first one. I need to get my skates on, because obviously that said motorbike starting up, if you can hear it. Hopefully you can't. So I bought some of these, they've got rattly things inside them, so I apologise. Kids hula hoops, and this is just it's called a granny circle mandala, and I've done it in like rainbow. So I did it in rainbow colourways, and this is just Stylecraft Special DK 100% acrylic. But for a cheap acrylic yarn, it's brilliant. And so I'm just scrabbling around looking for a book. I got the pattern from this book, Mandalas to Crochet by Hafner Linson, and it's got some really pretty, if you are into mandalas. So that's the one that, so I try not to give away the secret sauce, but it only went to 10 rounds, so once I got past 10 rounds I then had to sort of try and fudge it to make it stay a circle, and then I've just sewn it on, but I should have sewed it a bit tighter really, but so yeah, I did like a rainbow, and then to here, and then went back out again. So I think once it's up and hung, it'll be quite effective. So I've got another 5 to make. I really need to get my skates on, but I'm going to try and do a few more like lacier ones, because that took quite a while. So I thought this might be the next one that I do, and then I can just keep this bit going out and out and out. And again, I'll do that with the Stylecraft. I've tried to do mandalas in cotton yarn, but I just find it's floppy, and nobody wants floppy mandalas, do they? Floppy cotton. I don't know whether my tension's too loose, or I do tend to crochet tight though, so I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm not doing it in cotton. Apologies, forgot to turn phone to silent as well. I'm really not a very good podcaster, am I? All this noise. So yeah, those are my 3 finished objects for the week. I was hoping to finish the baby kimono, but I'll talk about that. I've got eyebrows going on here as well today. Anyway, so yeah, that's my finished objects for the week, or 2 weeks. Like I say, I was hoping that I'd get more finished, but unfortunately not. I don't really know where my time has gone this last fortnight, but mind you, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. But then I think these things always do, don't they? So let's move on to works in progress. So first one in my Hufflepuff bag from the lovely Tracy at Thimble and Thread Make. Still can't work out where to look, sorry. Is my Garter Stitch Baby Kimono by Hohi Locatelli, and it's like tiny, it's so cute. So I can't remember where I was last fortnight. I think I'd only got here, so I've finished the body, because you sort of knit. It is a free pattern. I haven't woven in any ends on that sleeve. So what you do is you knit up to here in one long rectangle, oblong, I suppose, and then she tells you to split your yarn into 3, and you start decreasing. So you stop here and then start decreasing for your 2 front panels, and then obviously knit up the back as a square. I'm really not explaining this very well, am I? But you know, you can get the gist. Because it was the first pattern that Hohi's ever written, and it was like she did it, so the instructions are a bit vague. So I went back onto the Ravelry page and looked at other people's projects and looked at comments and things that were on the Ravelry page for the pattern, and sort of got the gist of it from there. And then you pick up stitches for the sleeve. Oh, sorry, the back. It says to sew all these edges, but I didn't. I did a 3 needle bind off. Excuse me, we went out for dinner last night and it's really not good. I've completely lost my train of thought. And then it says to do the sleeves separately and sew them on, but I really hate sewing stuff. So I just picked up the number of stitches around the sleeves, knit the required number of centimetres, which was 12 centimetres, and I can't tell you how long 50 stitches to knit 12 centimetres in garter stitch took me. Forever. I can't believe how long I could have probably knit a full length sleeve for me in less time. So, and then I just did a stretchy bind off, which is give it a bit of a flare on the end, but I'm hoping that I can block that out. And then on this one I've cocked up between a knit and a purl, and I've got a nice line there now. But like I say, it's not going to be on the baby for long, because I think she's going to grow fairly rapid. So, and then all that's left to do now is pick up along the edge. I've got to pick up all the way around and do like a little garter border. I don't know whether to do garter or an I-cord. I might do an I-cord edge. And then I need to sew the buttons on, and then you just pick up in here. I'm just going to pick up, it says to knit a cord and then sew it on, but I think what I'll do is I'll pick up like 3 stitches and just knit a little I-cord on each side just to tie it on the inside, and then it'll be ready for baby yoga when baby arrives. This is for my niece's baby, so my great niece, who is due in 6 and a bit weeks. The yarn is Drops Baby Merino, in the colour is 05, and it's like a little pale pink, so it's really cute. And I've been showing my niece progress pictures as I've been going along, and she's absolutely loving it. So I think there may be a few more of those having to be knit as baby grows up. Okay, so my next active work in progress is in my Mrs. Moog's Tweedy Sheep bucket bag. I love this bag. I really do love this bag, and I think there's going to be more in my future. Is my Flare jumper by Vera Valimaki. Oh, sorry. Yarn is all twisted. Oh, what's going on here? There you go. Right. So this is my Flare jumper by Vera Valimaki. I've got a bit further. This Progress Keeper by, which says Happy Birthday Harry by Secret Miniatures, came as part of a Homespun House Harry Potter club. So that I put that in after I recorded. It's really flattering, that, isn't it? Double chinage. So I put that in after I recorded last time. So you know, there's quite a few stitches on this body now. So I was hoping to have the body done by now, but I've just been waylaid by other projects, and this is being knit in the sister colourway. I'm alternating skeins, which is why I've got 2 balls, and I've got a 4th. I've used 1 skein completely already, and this is in Stranded Dye Works Oasis base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, in the sister colourway. And Amy of Stranded Dye Works, she's got her own podcast as well, and she's launching her new website today, so congratulations, Amy. Not that you're watching this, but you might be, who knows. So yeah, and it's this is just such a it's showing a bit more purple on the screen than it is in real life. It's more of a mauvey, light grey, pink than the purple it's showing there. Purple, can't say purple without saying it with a slightly Scottish accent for some reason, but who knows why. So I'm hoping we're to have the body of that done by the next time I record. Excuse me a second, I forgot. I'll try and cut that out. This has gone into timeout. This is in my Gryffindor bag by Thimble and Threadmake. This is my exploration station, and I did do a little bit more, but I'm just not liking the colour. It's this. I don't know, it's just not, excuse me, it's not appealing to me whatsoever for some reason. I like the brown and the orange and the green, and I thought this would go really well, but it just hasn't. So you know what, you know I'm sure you've all knit projects that have been like meh, not sure about that. So I think I'm going to call it quits before I do any more and then really don't like it, and find another fourth colour. But there may, in stash enhancement, there may be something that works well in there. I don't know yet. I think what I'm going to have to do is do like a swatch with the colours. I was thinking like a beigey light brown might work better against this dark brown with the orange. I just think that variegated is just a bit like in your face. And I'm using as I was on these stitch stoppers from Yarnistry. Again, I'll link to Yarnistry's Etsy shop down below. So that's it for active whips. The new next instalment of the final pattern of the New York Sock Club has literally just landed in my inbox 5 minutes before I started recording this, and it's a good one for self-striping by the looks of it. And Mina gives you instructions on how to adjust the pattern. Look at the camera. Look at the camera, Lucy. Look at the camera. She gives you instructions on how to adjust the pattern for if you've got different varying width of stripes. And Amy of Stranded Dye Writers is doing a festive sock along. So again, I've got something else in stash enhancement that may work for the festive, for both of them. For both the festive sock along and that final New York sock collection pattern. Sorry, just have a quick check of the show notes. Yeah, that's it. So let's swiftly move on to stash enhancement because there is quite a bit. I should probably rename stash enhancement to Confessions of a Yarn Addict, because I'm just so bad. I can't resist pretty yarn. Okay, so the first two ones I'm going to show you were actually gifted to me on Facebook. I belong to a group called the Secret Yarny Friend Swap or something like that it's called. I can't remember. But basically, you get partnered up. Your partner doesn't know who you are, and you're not allowed to tell your partner who you are until the very end of the swap. And it's a year, it runs for a year, and basically the requirement is to send at least 3 parcels a year. So one from January to April, April to August, and August to December. So, I really have no idea who my secret friend is. And it's not the person you're sending to, obviously. So, my third of the year parcel, that didn't really, I was going to say second quarter, but it's not. So my second parcel arrived a couple of days ago, and it was really beautiful. And I was gifted some of this gorgeous dye candy yarn in the chip colourway. Oh, it's just beautiful. It is just like chocolate chip ice cream is my favourite as well. And she sent me, to go with this, a little cup and saucer of chip from Beauty and the Beast, which is so cute. I forgot to bring it over, and it's all the way over there, so I'm not going to. And Chip's one of my favourite characters. I think he's so cute. Look at the speckle. Look at the speckle. Sorry, I do get a bit carried away. Do get a bit excited when I see a speckle. And I was gifted this gorgeous skein of hand-dyed, no, not hand-dyed, hand-spun yarn, which is named Starbright There's 157 meters of a merino nylon and faux cashmere of an approximate DK weight. So I might... Oh, so squishy. It's so squishy. Sorry, I might be a little bit delirious today. My husband was like, are you sure you really should be recording today? Because it's just been, I've just been a bit crazy today. But, oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? So I might make myself a hat. I'm not really a hat. Hats don't really sit. I can't wear a beanie hat because I really look like the village idiot in a beanie hat. Do you remember Benny from Crossroads? For those of you in the UK who are of a certain vintage, yeah, I'm a bit like that with a beanie hat on. But I might. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know what to knit with it, but it's beautiful. I might just keep it as a pet for a little while and stroke it. Oh, look at that. Sorry, right. Okay, so those two were gifted to me. So whoever you are, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay, now for the naughty. So bad. I have another big ball. This is from Twisted Lemon. Are you going to focus or no? No. So this is Twisted Lemon on Etsy. I'll put a link downstairs. I live in a bungalow. I haven't even got stairs. So where did that come from? I told you it's crazy today. So I'll put a link down there. It's really not. And this is her Ziggy 7525 merino nylon. 425 meters, and this is in the Ice Queen colourway. So this is what I thought I could do for Amy's festive sock along, because it's like a winter Christmas festive, whatever, however you celebrate over that festive period. So, oh, it's just beautiful. Again, look at the speckles. So it's like it's coming out, the grey's coming out a bit darker, but it's like a turquoise. So and then it's like, this is a light grey, and then you've got this speckle of the turquoise and the grey. Yeah, so beautiful. Sorry for the crinkling. I don't know why did I not take it out of the... So this, if you are in the Homespun House Harry Potter Club and you haven't had August, I've completely forgot what month it was in, the August one, look away now or skip ahead. Look at beautiful. So this is the latest instalment of the Harry Potter Club from Homespun House. And this is, she spilled her secrets to an invisible stranger. And the little mini is the bite of the basilisk. Oh, it's Hogwarts Day today, 1st of September. So when you get the train to Hogwarts. I didn't get my letter though, so I'm not going this year. So this is in her soft sock merino base, which is again a 75/25 merino nylon, 425 meters. It's got some beautiful speckles. So this is based on Chamber of Secrets, where Ginny Weasley goes down into the chamber with the basilisk. So that's what she spilled her secrets to an invisible stranger, is where she gets given the Tom Riddle's diary. Brain. And it always comes with a gorgeous secret miniature progress keeper. So we have Tom Riddle's diary with the, it's got the dent in it where the and this is the basilisk fang. So that's really sweet. I'm really not doing that very well, am I? And they always come in this cute little pot with a little bit of roving in it to keep it safe in the posticles. So yeah, that's the latest instalment of that. And then my favouriteest dyer in the whole wide world, Nora George Yarns, had a shop update last Friday. I was bad. I was really, really bad. And I came away with 3 full skeins and 2 half skeins of yarn. See, yarn addict. Terrible, terrible. I don't know what to do with myself. So, the first one is, oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful. And this is Hermione and the Basilisk. And again, it's beautiful. It's got some beautiful speckles here. Second one I got was in the Aragog colourway, and this is what I wondered if it would work in place in my exploration station. I think I'm going to wind it up and do a small swatch to see how the colours work together, rather than doing it in the pattern and then having to rip it all out again. I might just do like a small swatch, just stripe the 4 colours together to see if they work. But again, it's just such a beautiful colourway. The 2 half skeins I got, this one is pumpkin, because it's that time of year. It's the first day of meteorological autumn. And autumn, I just love autumn. It's my favourite time of year. Turn it the right way up, might help. So this is pumpkin, and this is a 50-gram yarn. And I can get a pair of socks out of 50 grams if I use a contrast for the cuff and toe. Again, I might do these as afterthought everything, so that I end up using all the yarn. Because Opera Joe, who has Stitching the High Notes, does a pumpkin knit along, and the Knit Girls will be doing Halloween Craft All the Things, so this will work well for quite a few knit alongs as well. But it's just such a beautiful, like, orangey with some speckles. And then this one is Minerva McGonagall. I did want a full skein of this, but somebody was really quick off the mark. I set an alarm for the update, but somebody was really quick off the mark. Oh, look at those speckles. I managed to get all the full skein. They were all gone before I even got there. So I think somebody wanted a sweater or something in this, so I managed to nab it. But I did manage to get a little half skein, and again, I can get a full pair of socks out of that anyway. So, oh, look at the speckle. So, and then I did order Ginny Weasley, but unfortunately there was a mix-up with the picking and the packing, and I got sent Vintage Rose instead. And, you know, being really bad, I was like, that's fine, I'll pay for this one and keep it, and then you send me Ginny. But it is really pretty. Look, again, the speckle, and this is the Vintage Rose. Oh, look at the speckle there. But it is really pretty, so I can see that becoming a shawl of some sort. I'm not quite sure what yet. And that's it for Stash Enhancement. So that's Stash Enhancement, or Confessions of a Yarn Addict. as it should be called. Excuse me, I've got an itch. It's going to wet my whistle. I do have some sewing this week. I wasn't intending on having sewing, which is probably why I haven't got as much knitting, because it did take me 3 days by the time I made myself a top. So this is the pattern. I went to London recently to visit my niece with my sister, and we went into Liberty's, and I bought this pattern by Tilly and the Buttons. It's called the Matilde top, and as you can see, it's got like pin tucks down the front, and then a lovely button back to it, and then these lovely gathered like puffy sleeves that you gather. And I had this material in my stash. We've got a really good like discount store. There's one in Devon and 2 in Cornwall called Traeger Mills, and their fabric is brilliant. This is Rose and Hubble cotton, and I paid £3.50 a metre. So it was perfect for, because I'm right at the top of the measurements, so I was wondering if it was going to fit or not, but luckily it did. But you do these beautiful pin tucks down the front. I've got a picture of me wearing this because I wore it yesterday. Up on Plymouth Hoe at the moment is, do you remember the ceramic poppies that they made to go in the Tower of London, in the moat at the Tower of London to commemorate World War One? Well, they kept some of them as part of the wave, and at the moment that's up on Plymouth Hoe on the Naval War Memorial. There's 6,000 of them, I think, up there. And it's a beautiful wave, and I wore this top yesterday to go and see those. We took my dad to see them as well. And then husband and I had date night last night, so I wore this out last night, hence it's a bit crinkled and wrinkled. But that was an aside. So you do these beautiful, this top was a real learning experience to make as well, because you've got 3 pin tucks either side, and I've never done those before, and I was like best friends with my seam ripper to start with, because I can't measure, obviously. And then you join it to the yoke, and I did a French seam, which I've never done before. Again, that was another learning experience. And these are the sleeves, so you've got a small gather here and then quite a big gather on the cuff, and then it's got a beautiful button, and I got these beautiful, like said beautiful so many times, but these are like pearly shiny buttons from my local haberdashery stroke wool shop here in Tavistock. So yeah, I've sewed all those on, and it fitted. It's a bit tight across the ladies, and the cuff, when it rides up, because I was like flab here, when it rides up it's a bit tight, so I'm going to make another one because I really do like it. I think it's really pretty, and it was quite flattering once it was on. I think what I would do is, where you seam the cuff here, I would just hem both edges and leave that open, so it just gives a bit more room for things to move. Sorry. And there was a facing on the inside neck, and again I did a French seam on there. So I just think it's really pretty. So I'll try. I've got some new editing software, so I'll try and insert a picture. So my next, when we were in Liberties, I also bought this pattern from Merchant and Mills, and that's what it looks like on. And again, I'm right. It actually looks like it's got quite a lot of positive ease, because it says it's a relaxed, loose and very comfortable fit. So, but I just think it's really lovely. So the largest size doesn't actually, is smaller than my actual bust size. So I'm hoping with it being a relaxed fit, it will still fit. So I wanted to do it in like a chambray. I can't work out what's the right side of this. I think it's that side. So I just went onto eBay, and I've got this like charcoal grey. I actually prefer that side, but I think that's the wrong side. This charcoal grey chambray, and it wasn't expensive. So I think that's going to be the next thing that I sew. So I've got some Swedish tracing paper, so I'm going to trace the pattern out first. That's what I did with the Matilda top as well, because I thought I don't want to cut the actual pattern if it doesn't fit, so then I can retrace it and add like an extra inch or so on the seam allowance or something if it doesn't fit. And then I thought I'll do the same with this, so if it doesn't fit across my ladies, then I can always add a bit in, and I'll probably need to take it up anyway, because I'm only 5'2", and this will probably touch the floor. It doesn't actually say, it doesn't give a length on it, but I'll measure, when I'm tracing it out, I'll measure how long it is and see if I need to take it up a bit. So I don't want it too long on me. So that's going to be the next sewing segment. I doubt very much it'll happen for a few weeks yet. Like I say, I wasn't expecting to make the Matilda top, but I just got overstruck with a whim on Bank Holiday Monday. I was working, it was really quiet, and luckily I've got a job. I work from home, but as long as I'm there to answer the phone should a call come in, I work as a virtual receptionist type thing. I won't go into it in detail because it's a bit random. So as long as I'm there to answer the phone, then I can pretty much, once my admin is done, I can pretty much do whatever I want to do. So it was really quiet on Bank Holiday Monday, so I was like, right, I'm going to cut the pattern pieces out, or the fabric out, for the Matilda top. So I did that, and then Tuesday again it was really quiet on the lines, so I started sewing, and I started at like 9:30, and I was still going at 5, so it was like, right, call it a day for today. And then I didn't have the buttons that I wanted, so Wednesday morning I went to the shop, bought the buttons, and Wednesday I came back and I did the buttonholes and the sleeves on Wednesday, and it was done by mid-afternoon on the Wednesday. So I was really pleased with how it came out. It was a big learning experience, and luckily on the Tilly and the Buttons website she's done a step-by-step blog on the Matilda top, so I was able to follow all the instructions for that, and trusty old YouTube when I needed to do French seams, etc. I watched a few videos, so it really did push my boundaries on my sewing skills, but I'm really pleased that I did it, and I'm hoping that Merchant Mills pattern won't be quite as extensive. Doesn't look it anyway. Okay, so I did mention 3 bags full a little earlier, and Sorry for the earthquake. I've just kicked the table that the iPad is on. And the workshops that I've signed up for. So the workshops are all on the website, and I'll put the link below, link into the workshop schedule. And I've booked for 3. So I am doing Shetland shawls with the wonderful Annika and Alice. I'm doing a brioche workshop because that just baffles me completely. So I've watched a few YouTube videos on how to do brioche, but I still think it's a bit beyond me at the moment. And I'm more of a visual. If somebody sat with me when I'm trying to do a new technique, then I think that'll be better. And also, if you make a mistake, you've got somebody there who shows you how to do, how to rectify those mistakes. And the 3rd workshop I've booked for is how to read a knitting chart. So see all these lovely patterns, and they're charted, and it scares the bejesus out of me on having to use a chart. I don't know why, because it's probably not rocket science, but so they're the 3 workshops that I've booked up for. But we've got all sorts of different fibre related workshops happening over the 2 weeks following the wool market. So if you are in the area, then please take a look and come along and have some fun. Come and buy some lovely yarn on the Friday evening. There's also refreshments and things going on, and I think we're doing some little make and take type workshops as well. So, and we've got a variety of stalls as well. So it's always good fun. Yeah. Okay. Before I wrap up, goals for the next 2 weeks. Okay, I'm aiming to get that baby kimono finished by the end of the day. Once I've edited this and starting its upload, then I'm going to crack on and get that finished. Then secondly, I want to finish the body on my flare sweater, and I need to do at least 3 more of these in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully. And I want to start the final sock pattern for the New York sock collection, and get those on the needles. And that's it, I think. But who knows? I may get a sudden whim of cast on all the things, and next podcast, which I'm hoping to do in 2 weeks, but we're going away, so I might not be able to fit it in before we go. I may end up with 700 works in progress on the next podcast, because that's also quite likely with me. Who knows where we'll go. Okay, I think I've rambled on enough. I'm sorry if this is like a really disjointed, rambly, weird thing, but like I say, I'm a bit whoa today. But I wanted to get this podcast recorded today so I can get it up for the weekend, hopefully. So, thank you for joining me on this 2nd episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Yeah, if you do enjoy it, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like, so you'll get notified then when my next episode goes up. So until next time, happy knitting, or crochet, or spinning, or weaving, or sewing, or whatever it is you're going to be doing. Happy crafting. That would probably be better, wouldn't it? So enjoy, and I will catch you again hopefully in a fortnight. Bye.